Our world is a place of astonishing diversity, where the boundaries of possibility are constantly tested by the forces of nature. Across the globe, landscapes emerge that defy the imagination. Towering mountain ranges shrouded in mist, deserts that shimmer with heat, and rainforests so dense that sunlight barely touches the ground. In these wildest realms, deserts are reborn by sudden floods, and entire continents are locked in the grip of relentless ice, forging environments where only the most extraordinary life can endure. Here, nature's power is unrestrained. Rivers carve deep canyons, waterfalls thunder into the abyss, and storms sweep across the Savannah, shaping the land and the destinies of its inhabitants. These environments are among the harshest on Earth, where searing heat, biting cold, and scarcity of water test every living thing. Sand dunes shift endlessly in the wind, ice fractures with thunderous cracks, and the very ground seems to resist the presence of life. Yet life persists. A single resilient plant pushes through parched earth, and herds of animals traverse vast, unforgiving plains, each adapted to survive where others cannot. In these extremes, animals display remarkable behaviors. Some burrow deep to escape the midday sun, others migrate for hundreds of miles in search of fleeting water, and predators brave storms to hunt in the chaos. Our journey will take us to three of the most remarkable wild places on Earth, each a stage for unique dramas of survival and adaptation. First, we travel to the Okavango Delta in southern Africa, where a desert is transformed each year into a lush, watery paradise. Here, elephants lead their families through flooded channels, hippos carve out territories in the reeds, and antelope leap between islands, all orchestrated by the rhythm of the annual flood. Next, we venture to Zakuma National Park in Chad, where the land swings between punishing drought and sudden life-giving rains. In this place, elephants return to ancient waterholes, and the landscape bursts into green after fire and rain, revealing a tapestry of renewal and resilience. Finally, we descend to the frozen continent of Antarctica, a world of endless ice and wind, where survival depends on extraordinary endurance and cooperation. In each of these places, the rhythm of the seasons dictates life. Floodwaters rise and fall, herds migrate across vast distances, and every creature must adapt or perish. The stories here are epic. Lions coordinate in silent teamwork to hunt, elephants use memory and communication to find water, and every animal is part of a complex web of survival. Wildebeest gather in immense herds to cross treacherous rivers, while solitary leopards stalk the shadows, each encounter a test of skill and instinct. Every day the ancient dance of predator and prey unfolds. Chases erupt in bursts of speed, and moments of stillness betray the tension of survival. In the Okavango, powerful lions patrol their territories, their roars echoing across the floodplains, while prides work together to defend their young and secure their future. On the Antarctic ice, penguins huddle for warmth against the bitter cold, then plunge into frigid waters to hunt, their bodies perfectly adapted to the extremes. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest predator, plays a vital role in the intricate web of life, each interaction shaping the fate of the ecosystem. The balance is delicate. Predators keep herds healthy, grazers shape the land, and nurturing parents ensure the next generation is ready for the challenges ahead. But these wild kingdoms are fragile. Glaciers melt, rivers dry, and the struggle for survival grows ever more intense as the environment shifts. The very forces that make these places unique, flood, fire, ice, and drought, also threaten their existence, testing the limits of adaptation. Yet time and again, life endures. After every storm, resilient creatures emerge, and each sunrise brings new hope to the wild. Let us now journey into these last truly wild corners of our planet to witness the spectacle of life in its most raw, ingenious, and magnificent form, where every day is a testament to the power and wonder of the natural world. In the heart of the Kalahari Desert, where endless sands stretch to the horizon, lies a phenomenon that defies the very nature of deserts. The Okavango Delta, a living oasis that pulses with life. Unlike any other river delta on Earth, the Okavango's waters never reach the ocean. Instead, they vanish into the thirsty sands, creating a sanctuary where life flourishes against all odds. Each year, distant rains in the Angolan highlands send a slow, determined surge of water southward, winding through the Savannah, carrying with it the promise of renewal. After months of travel, nearly 3 trillion gallons of water spill across the parched desert, transforming nearly 6,000 square miles into a shimmering expanse of life. The flood carves a labyrinth of sparkling channels, lagoons, and countless islands, each one a stage for nature's most remarkable performances. With the first light of dawn, the transformation is breathtaking. Arid plains become a living tapestry of green, gold, and blue, a spectacle unmatched anywhere on the planet. The delta's landscape is in constant flux, sculpted by the ebb and flow of water, and by the creatures that call it home. Where dust once ruled, water now reigns, submerging the land and awakening dormant seeds and roots. Rising above the flood, ancient termite mounds stand as islands. Their architects, tiny but tireless, have built these fortresses over centuries, providing vital refuge for many. As the waters rise, these mounds become sanctuaries for creatures unable to swim or wade. From antelope to snakes, each finds safety on these earthen towers. Birds nest among the papyrus, their eggs safe from the flood, while mammals use the mounds as vantage points to scan for both predators and prey. The delta's flatness, with less than 7 feet of elevation change, allows water to fan out, creating a patchwork of habitats: deep, cool channels for fish and crocodiles, shallow floodplains for grazing herds, and dense reed beds for secretive creatures. This annual pulse is the delta's heartbeat, a rhythm that every living thing has learned to follow. Arriving in the harshest months, the flood turns scarcity into abundance, breathing life into the desert when it is needed most. Herds of zebra, buffalo, and antelope converge on the delta's edge, drawn by the promise of water and fresh grazing. Elephants, the largest land mammals, follow ancient trails etched into memory, their trunks scenting the air for distant water, while nimble antelope pick their way through the reeds, ever alert for danger. The delta becomes a living mosaic, a congregation of species, each adapted to survive the extremes of flood and drought, each playing a role in the intricate balance of this ecosystem. The timing of the flood shapes every life. Fish spawn in synchrony with rising waters, frogs emerge from the mud in a chorus of calls, and predators adjust their hunts to the shifting terrain. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest mammal, leaves its mark, grazing, digging, and moving earth. They help shape the very landscape they depend on. The hippopotamus, immense and powerful, is a true engineer of the delta. By night, hippos leave the water to graze, trampling wide paths through dense reeds. These become vital channels for water and smaller animals alike. When the flood returns, these hippo highways fill, guiding the water's flow and creating new habitats for fish, frogs, and aquatic plants. Even their waste is a gift. Rich in nutrients, it fertilizes the water, fueling the explosive growth of lilies, reeds, and algae that feed countless other creatures. Here, survival depends on adaptation. Fish that breathe air, frogs that burrow deep to escape the dry, antelope with splayed hooves for walking on mud, and plants that store water in swollen roots or float on the flood. Every life is woven into a web of connections: predator and prey, plant and pollinator, grazer and scavenger, all sustained by the miracle of water in the desert. In the Okavango, the balance is delicate, the diversity astonishing, and the story of survival is written anew with every flood. The Okavango Delta is a kingdom of giants, and its undisputed rulers are the African bush elephants. This remarkable wetland provides a sanctuary for the world's largest remaining concentration of these magnificent animals, with a population exceeding 130,000 individuals. An adult bull can stand 13 feet tall at the shoulder and weigh over 14,000 pounds, making it the largest land animal on Earth. Their immense size requires a huge amount of resources. A single elephant may consume up to 440 pounds of vegetation and drink over 50 gallons of water every single day. The delta, with its abundance of food and water, is one of the few places left that can support them in such numbers. These elephants are not just residents of the delta, they are its engineers. With their incredible sense of smell, they can detect underground water sources from afar. Using their powerful tusks and feet, they dig deep into the dry riverbeds, creating wells that provide life-saving water not only for themselves but for countless other species. During the dry season, these elephant-dug wells become critical oases that sustain the entire ecosystem. They are a keystone species, and their presence directly influences the survival of many other animals. Their constant movement also creates pathways through the dense vegetation, opening up the landscape for smaller creatures. Sharing this lush paradise are the formidable African buffalo, often called Cape buffalo. They move in great herds, sometimes numbering in the thousands. Their dark hides a stark contrast against the green floodplains. An adult buffalo can weigh close to 2,000 pounds, and their massive, curved horns make them one of the most dangerous herbivores in Africa. They are grazers, and their feeding habits have a profound impact on the environment. By consuming vast quantities of grass, they maintain the open grasslands, preventing them from becoming overgrown with shrubs and trees. This grazing action creates a habitat suitable for other animals and helps maintain the biodiversity of the delta. Like the elephants, the buffalo herds are constantly on the move following the availability of fresh grazing and water. Their immense numbers create a moving spectacle of dust and sound, a true force of nature. But they are not without their enemies. These vast herds attract the attention of the delta's top predators, particularly the lions. The relationship between buffalo and lion is an ancient one, a dramatic and ongoing battle between two of Africa's most powerful animals. The presence of these giant herbivores shapes the very character of the Okavango, their lives interwoven with the seasonal floods and the constant threat of predation. Elephants are highly social animals living in matriarchal herds led by the oldest female. The young are nurtured and protected by the entire herd, learning essential survival skills through play and observation. Their migration patterns are dictated by the seasonal availability of water and food, leading them on long journeys across the delta. Similarly, buffalo herds are structured around family units, with strong bonds between members. When threatened, they form a defensive circle around their young, showcasing their collective strength and unity. Despite their size and power, both elephants and buffalo coexist peacefully with many other species, their presence vital to the health of the ecosystem. Their interactions with the environment and other animals create a dynamic and balanced ecosystem, ensuring the survival of countless species in the Okavango Delta. Where prey flourishes in such abundance, a complex web of predators emerges, each carving out a niche in the watery expanse of the Okavango Delta. The Okavango Delta is a living tapestry of hunters, lions, leopards, cheetahs, and wild dogs, each uniquely adapted to the challenges of this ever-shifting waterlogged world. At the apex of this intricate food web stands the lion, a symbol of raw power and dominance. Okavango lions are among the largest in Africa, their size and strength a direct result of the formidable prey and the demanding marshy terrain they must conquer. These lions have evolved powerful limbs and broad paws, allowing them to traverse flooded channels and dense reeds in pursuit of their quarry. Their hunting strategy is built on cooperation and strength. Only through coordinated teamwork can they bring down the mighty buffalo, a feat that tests their courage and unity. Yet not all predators rely on brute force. Some, like the leopard, are masters of patience and stealth. The leopard's solitary existence is defined by its ability to vanish into the landscape, moving silently through reeds and shadows. Flood islands become vantage points where leopards watch and wait, tracking the movements of antelope, birds, and even fish below. Their dappled coats blend seamlessly with the interplay of light and shadow, providing perfect camouflage as they rest in trees or stalk through undergrowth. Adaptability is the leopard's greatest weapon. Their diet is as varied as the delta itself. Fish, birds, reptiles, and antelope all fall within their reach. Wide padded paws allow them to move undetected across soft ground, while their immense strength lets them hoist heavy kills into trees, safe from opportunistic rivals. The open floodplains, with their sweeping vistas, seem ideal for the cheetah, whose speed is legendary. But in the Okavango, the cheetah's greatest asset becomes its greatest challenge. The marshy ground saps their speed, turning every chase into a struggle. Waterlogged earth and tangled reeds rob them of traction, forcing them to adapt their hunting tactics or risk starvation. A cheetah that can reach 75 miles per hour on dry savanna is reduced to a crawl, its explosive sprints rendered useless in the mud. This vulnerability shrinks their hunting grounds and exposes them to kleptoparasitism, where stronger predators like lions and hyenas steal their hard-earned meals, further threatening their survival. Among the most remarkable hunters here are the African wild dogs, whose survival depends on unity and relentless pursuit. Their hunting strategy is a marvel of coordination. Packs fan out, using the landscape to funnel prey into ambushes, then chase relentlessly, often for miles, until their quarry collapses from exhaustion. Social bonds are the glue of wild dog society. Every hunt, every meal, every moment is shared, ensuring the survival of the entire pack. Their stamina and teamwork allow them to outlast and outmaneuver prey, making them some of the most successful hunters in the delta. After a kill, the pack's strict hierarchy ensures that even the youngest, oldest, and weakest members are fed, reinforcing the bonds that make their survival possible. The presence of wild dogs, lions, leopards, and cheetahs in the Okavango Delta is a testament to the delicate balance of predator and prey. Each species, with its own strategies and adaptations, weaves a complex tapestry of survival, competition, and coexistence, an ever-evolving drama in the heart of the Watery Kingdom. Far to the north, in the semi-arid heartlands of Chad, lies Zakuma National Park, a vast wilderness where the struggle for survival is written into every sunrise and sunset. This is a land of dramatic extremes, where the golden savanna stretches endlessly, interrupted only by the fleeting promise of water and the shifting boundary between parched earth and sudden vibrant life. Zakuma sits at a crossroads, where the relentless Sahara presses from the north and the lush forests beckon from the south, creating a unique haven for creatures that have mastered the art of adaptation. Here, the rhythm of life is dictated by the seasons, a long, punishing dry spell from October to April, followed by a brief, explosive wet season that transforms the land almost overnight. As the dry season deepens, waterholes shrink, and the savanna becomes a crucible, testing the endurance of every living thing. Elephants, with their ancient memories, lead their herds across vast distances to the last muddy pools, sharing these precious resources with buffalo, antelope, and flocks of red-billed quellias that darken the sky at dusk. For the youngest calf, each day is a lesson in resilience, learning to follow the matriarch's footsteps, to find shade beneath the acacia, and to sense the distant rumble of thunder that signals hope. Buffalo gather in tight herds, their bodies pressed together for protection against both predators and the searing wind, while the nimble cob antelope dart between shadows, ever alert for danger. In the shade, a pride of lions waits patiently, conserving energy, their golden eyes fixed on the horizon. Cubs tumble and play, learning the skills they will need to survive in a world where every meal is hard-won. Giraffes stretch their necks to reach the last green leaves, their long tongues deftly navigating thorns, while beneath them, warthogs kneel to graze on the brittle grass. As dusk falls, the air fills with the beating wings of Quellius, their numbers so vast they seem to form living clouds, a testament to nature's ability to endure and flourish against the odds. At the last waterholes, crocodiles lie in wait, patient and still, while marabou storks stand sentinel, each playing their part in the delicate balance of life and death. There are moments of heartbreak, an orphaned calf searching for its mother, a weakened antelope succumbing to thirst, but also moments of triumph, as a newborn giraffe takes its first wobbly steps beneath the watchful gaze of its mother. Then, at last, the rains return. The first drops fall, darkening the dust, and the land breathes a collective sigh of relief. Grass shoots burst from the earth, and herds of hartebeest and tiang gather to graze, their coats gleaming in the fresh sunlight. Elephants return to the waterholes, trumpeting with joy as calves splash and play, their spirits renewed by the abundance. Migratory birds arrive in dazzling flocks, their colours painting the sky, while crocodiles and fish thrive in the swollen rivers. The lion pride, lean from the long dry months, feasts at last, and the cubs grow strong, their future secured for another season. Even the smallest creatures, termites, dung beetles, and bush squirrels, emerge to play their part in the great renewal, each one a vital thread in the tapestry of life. Zakuma stands as a living testament to the power of adaptation, resilience, and hope. Here, every animal, from the mightiest elephant to the tiniest bird, writes its own story of survival, proving that even in the harshest of lands, life finds a way to endure, to recover, and to thrive. Zakuma National Park is a living tapestry where the successful resurgence of wildlife has transformed the savannah into a sanctuary of extraordinary biodiversity. Here, every creature plays a vital role in the intricate web of life, each with its own story of adaptation and survival. Among the park's most iconic residents is the Kordofan giraffe, a rare and critically endangered subspecies. With its pale, dappled coat and smaller stature, it stands apart from its southern cousins, perfectly suited to the arid grasslands of Zakuma. The Kordofan giraffe's subtle markings and compact build are not just for show. They are evolutionary responses to the harsh, sun-baked environment, allowing them to blend into the dry landscape and conserve water. With fewer than 2,000 left in the wild, Zakuma is a critical refuge, sheltering over half of the world's remaining Kordofan giraffes. Their survival here is a testament to the park's importance as a bastion for rare species. These giraffes are nomads of the savannah, their movements shaped by the rhythm of the seasons. During the long dry months, they expand their range by nearly a third, traversing vast distances in search of scattered waterholes and the tender leaves that sustain them. Roaming the grasslands are the West African lions, a population as unique as the land they inhabit. These lions are smaller and leaner than their southern relatives, a reflection of the challenging environment and the elusive prey they pursue. Their genetic distinctiveness sets them apart, marking them as a vital link in the evolutionary chain of Africa's great predators. Their tawny coats and muscular frames are built for endurance, allowing them to thrive where resources are scarce. Adapted to the arid plains, these lions hunt smaller prey and travel in compact prides, relying on stealth and cooperation to ambush antelope and warthogs under the cover of darkness. Males, though lighter than their southern kin, possess remarkable strength, typically weighing between 265 and 330 pounds, perfectly balanced for agility and power. Nightfall transforms the park into a realm of shadows, where lion prides use the darkness to their advantage, stalking prey near precious water sources and ensuring their survival in a land of extremes. Yet Zakuma's wonders extend far beyond its giants. The park teems with a dazzling array of creatures, each uniquely adapted to the challenges of the savannah. The caracal, with its signature tufted ears and lithe body, is a master of agility. This elusive feline can leap 10 feet into the air, snatching birds from the sky with astonishing precision, a true aerial acrobat of the grasslands. As dusk falls, the African civet emerges from the undergrowth. This secretive omnivore, with its striking banded coat, forages for fruit, insects, and small animals, playing a crucial role in dispersing seeds and maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. Above, the martial eagle reigns supreme. Africa's largest eagle, it soars on broad wings, scanning the plains for movement. With a dive that can reach 150 miles per hour, it strikes with unmatched speed and power, preying on everything from birds to small antelope. The skies are alive with scavengers and foragers, vultures, hornbills, and other birds, each fulfilling a vital ecological role. Vultures cleanse the land of carrion, preventing disease, while hornbills disperse seeds, ensuring the renewal of the forest. The resurgence of these animals signals the healing of the land. Herds of antelope and giraffe now roam where silence once reigned, their presence a sign of a recovering ecosystem. Zakuma has become a sanctuary, a living refuge where biodiversity flourishes and the ancient rhythms of the wild are restored. Warthogs root through the earth in tight-knit family groups, while herds of antelope graze on the rejuvenated grasslands, their vigilance and speed a constant dance with the predators that share their home. Elephants, the giants of Zakuma, lead the way across the plains, their presence shaping the landscape and providing shelter for countless other species. Their movements open up waterholes, create pathways, and foster new growth, acting as architects of the ecosystem. As dawn breaks over this wild kingdom, Zakuma stands as a beacon of hope, a place where the remarkable creatures of Chad not only survive but thrive, each one a vital thread in the fabric of life. Our final journey takes us to the most extreme environment on Earth, Antarctica, a land of endless white, where the horizon blurs between ice and sky. This is a continent of immense scale and savage beauty, a polar desert of 5.4 million square miles, almost entirely covered by a sheet of ice that is, in places, miles thick. Here, the silence is broken only by the distant crack of shifting glaciers and the relentless wind. It is the coldest, driest, and windiest place on our planet. Blizzards sweep across the plains, sculpting the ice into jagged ridges and deep crevasses. Temperatures can plummet to an unimaginable -71 degrees Fahrenheit, and ferocious katabatic winds howl down from the high ice plateau at speeds of up to 200 miles per hour, scouring the land and testing the limits of survival. This is a world that seems hostile to life itself, where the sun vanishes for months and darkness reigns through the long polar winter. And yet, against all odds, life endures. Tracks in the snow reveal the presence of creatures that have mastered the art of survival in the deep freeze. Over 1,000 species have adapted to survive in this frozen world. Emperor penguins, huddled together in tightly packed colonies, sharing warmth through the bitterest nights. Weddell seals carve breathing holes in the ice, their bodies insulated by thick layers of blubber. Life here is concentrated along the coastlines and in the frigid waters of the southern ocean that surrounds the continent. Here, the ice meets the sea in a jagged, ever-shifting boundary, and the true drama of survival unfolds. The ocean is incredibly rich in nutrients, fueling vast blooms of phytoplankton that turn the water a ghostly green beneath the ice. These tiny organisms form the base of a surprisingly rich food web, thriving in the brief summer sunlight and supporting a cascade of life above. Immense swarms of krill, small shrimp-like crustaceans, feast on the phytoplankton. These krill become the lifeblood of the Antarctic ecosystem, sustaining everything from agile Adelie penguins to the colossal blue whale. The land itself is almost entirely barren, a stark expanse of rock and ice, where only the hardiest life forms can cling to existence. Less than 1% of Antarctica is permanently ice-free, and these rare patches become oases for the continent's most resilient inhabitants. In these exposed areas, lichens and mosses cling to the rocks, surviving on little more than sunlight and wind-blown nutrients. Tiny springtails and midges, the only true land animals, scuttle across the frozen ground, their bodies filled with natural antifreeze to prevent their cells from freezing solid. There are no trees, no shrubs, no land mammals. The landscape is a testament to the power of adaptation, where only the most specialized can survive. The true heart of Antarctic life is the sea ice, a floating, ever-changing platform that expands and contracts with the seasons. For emperor penguins, the sea ice is a nursery, where they lay their eggs and raise their chicks through the harshest winter on Earth. Seals haul out to rest and give birth, their pups shielded from predators by the vast frozen expanse. Here, life is a cycle of endurance and renewal. Chicks huddle beneath their parents' warm bodies, while seal pups nurse on rich milk, building the fat reserves they'll need to survive. Beneath the ice, predators like the leopard seal patrol the waters, their streamlined bodies built for speed and stealth. Penguins dive through holes in the ice, hunting for fish and krill in the frigid depths. The life of almost every animal in Antarctica is inextricably linked to the annual cycle of the sea ice, its advance in winter, its retreat in summer. This rhythm dictates when animals breed, hunt, and migrate. Even in the air, life persists. Snow petrels glide effortlessly above the ice cliffs, while skuas patrol the shoreline, ever watchful for an opportunity to scavenge. In the long polar night, the sky comes alive with the aurora australis, shimmering curtains of green and purple light that dance above the frozen world, a silent celebration of life's resilience. Every creature here is a marvel of adaptation. Penguin feathers are densely packed and waterproof, trapping air for insulation. Seal fur glistens with ice crystals, their bodies designed to retain precious warmth. Even the fish beneath the ice have evolved antifreeze proteins in their blood, allowing them to swim in waters that would freeze the blood of any ordinary animal. In this land of extremes, every day is a test of endurance. Yet life not only survives, it thrives, a testament to the extraordinary power of adaptation on the frozen continent at the end of the world. In the heart of Antarctica, survival is a relentless battle against the elements. Here, the wind howls across endless ice, temperatures plummet to unimaginable lows, and the sun disappears for months at a time. Only the most resilient creatures endure. Among these survivors, the emperor penguin stands as a symbol of adaptation and endurance. Their journey begins as the Antarctic winter tightens its grip, bringing darkness and cold that would defeat most life. Towering above other penguin species at 4 feet tall, emperor penguins are the only birds to breed during the harshest season, when the ice is thickest and the winds are most unforgiving. After laying a single precious egg, the female embarks on a perilous journey to the distant sea, leaving the male behind. He becomes the sole guardian, bracing himself against the endless night and the biting cold. For more than 2 months, males cradle their eggs atop their feet, protected by a flap of skin. They form dense huddles, shifting positions in a slow, coordinated dance to share warmth and shield one another from the brutal wind. Temperatures plunge below a -76 degrees Fahrenheit. The males fast, relying on stored fat, and lose nearly half their body weight. Frost clings to their feathers, but their determination never wavers. Beyond the ice, the Southern Ocean teems with danger. Here, survival means constant vigilance as predators lurk beneath the surface. The leopard seal, sleek and powerful, is a master of stealth. Its solitary existence is shaped by the need to hunt and survive in a world of scarcity. Reaching lengths of up to 11.5 feet, the leopard seal is built for the hunt. Its streamlined body glides effortlessly through icy waters, a shadow beneath the surface. With speed and agility, it pursues fish, squid, and even penguins, using bursts of power to ambush prey in the frigid depths. Often it waits at the edge of the ice, motionless, ready to strike at any unsuspecting penguin that dares to enter the water. Its jaws are marvels of evolution, razor-sharp canines for gripping large prey, and intricate molars that filter tiny krill, ensuring a diverse diet in a land of extremes. The killer whale, or orca, reigns as another apex predator. These formidable hunters are defined by their intelligence and cooperation. Orcas travel in tightly knit pods, each member playing a role in complex hunting strategies. Their communication and coordination are unmatched in the Antarctic seas. One of their most ingenious tactics is wave washing, a technique that demonstrates both their power and their cunning. Working in unison, a pod approaches an ice floe where a seal rests, their movements perfectly synchronized. At the critical moment, they dive together, generating a wave that sweeps over the ice, dislodging the seal and delivering it into the waiting jaws below. This display of teamwork and intelligence is a testament to the adaptability required to thrive in such a hostile environment. Not all Antarctic seals are hunters. Some, like the Weddell seal, have evolved remarkable ways to survive the cold and the darkness. Weddell seals are expert divers, plunging to depths of over 2,300 feet and holding their breath for up to 80 minutes, exploring the shadowy world beneath the ice in search of fish. To survive the long winter, they must keep breathing holes open in the thick sea ice, a lifeline to the world above. Using their strong, chisel-like teeth, they scrape and gnaw at the ice, preventing the holes from freezing shut and ensuring access to air. This ingenious adaptation comes at a price. Their teeth wear down over time, eventually making it harder to hunt and feed. Yet, for as long as they can, they persist, a testament to the resilience of life in the Antarctic. In this frozen wilderness, every creature is shaped by the struggle to survive. From the depths of the ocean to the wind-swept ice, life endures, adapts, and thrives against all odds. The Antarctic chill is unforgiving, but it is also a crucible for some of the most extraordinary survival stories on Earth. Across the wild kingdoms of the Okavango, Zakuma, and Antarctica, nature's wonders unfold in breathtaking diversity. These landscapes, shaped by millennia of evolution, are sanctuaries for countless species, each playing a vital role in the intricate web of life. Yet these treasures face mounting threats. Climate change is altering the very fabric of these ecosystems, shifting weather patterns and transforming habitats at an alarming pace. In Antarctica, the relentless melting of sea ice disrupts the delicate balance that supports life, from the smallest plankton to the largest whales. As the ice recedes, the foundation of the food web is weakened, endangering the survival of species uniquely adapted to this frozen world. Emperor penguins and Weddell seals, dependent on stable ice for breeding and resting, face uncertain futures as their habitats diminish. The loss of ice not only threatens their existence but also reverberates through the entire ecosystem. In Africa, the Okavango and Zakuma are shaped by the rhythm of water. Shifts in rainfall and prolonged droughts threaten to unravel the cycles that sustain life, from the lush floodplains to the arid savannas. The intricate relationships between plants, herbivores, and predators are tested as resources become scarce. Wildlife must adapt or perish. Herds migrate in search of water, predators follow their prey, and the balance of nature is in constant flux. The resilience of these creatures is remarkable, but the challenges they face are unprecedented. Every species, from the mighty lion to the smallest insect, contributes to the health of the ecosystem. Predators regulate populations, herbivores shape vegetation, and birds disperse seeds, ensuring the renewal of life. Pollution, too, poses a silent threat. Plastics and toxins infiltrate even the most remote habitats, endangering wildlife that mistake debris for food or become entangled in waste. Microplastics accumulate in the bodies of krill, penguins and whales, disrupting feeding and reproduction. The contamination of the food chain has far-reaching consequences, weakening the resilience of entire populations. Over-exploitation of resources, such as the industrial harvesting of krill, threatens to collapse the food web. The loss of a single keystone species can trigger cascading effects, leading to the decline of many others. The preservation of biodiversity is essential. Each species, no matter how small, plays a unique role in maintaining the stability and productivity of its environment. The loss of biodiversity weakens ecosystems, making them more vulnerable to disease, invasive species, and environmental change. Protecting these treasures means safeguarding the habitats that sustain them. Wetlands, forests, grasslands, and ice fields are not just scenery. They are living systems that purify water, regulate climate, and provide shelter and food for countless organisms. Ecosystem preservation is the foundation of conservation. Healthy ecosystems support robust populations, enable natural processes to flourish, and buffer the impacts of environmental change. The creation of protected areas, from the Ross Sea to the heart of Africa, offers hope. These sanctuaries provide safe havens where wildlife can thrive, free from the pressures of exploitation and disturbance. The fate of these wild realms is a testament to the interconnectedness of all life. The survival of one species often depends on the health of many others, forming a tapestry of relationships that sustains the planet. Biodiversity is the engine of resilience. It enables ecosystems to recover from disturbance, adapt to change, and continue providing the services upon which all life depends. To protect the elephants of the Okavango, the giraffes of Zakuma, and the penguins of Antarctica is to protect the future of life itself. Conservation is not just about saving individual species, but about preserving the harmony and diversity of the natural world. These places inspire awe and wonder, reminding us of the beauty and complexity of Earth's natural heritage. They are living treasures, irreplaceable and invaluable. The enduring survival of these savage and beautiful kingdoms depends on the strength and integrity of the ecosystems that sustain them. By valuing and protecting biodiversity, we ensure that the wonders of the wild endure for all time. As the golden sun slips beneath the horizon, the savannah transforms. The heat of the day fades, and a world cloaked in shadows awakens. Here, under a sky ablaze with stars, the night belongs to the secretive and the silent, the nocturnal creatures whose lives are veiled in darkness. With keen senses and specialized adaptations, these animals thrive where others rest. The African civet, with its masked face and sleek body, prowls the undergrowth. Its acute sense of smell guides it to fallen fruit and unsuspecting insects, while its cryptic coat camouflages it from prying eyes. Nearby, the aardvark emerges from its burrow, its long ears swiveling to catch the faintest rustle. With powerful claws, it tears into termite mounds, feasting on thousands of insects with its sticky tongue. Its solitary journey is guided by a remarkable sense of smell, navigating the inky landscape with confidence. In the tall grass, the serval cat moves with fluid grace, its oversized ears tuned to the tiniest sounds. It listens for the scurry of rodents and the chirp of frogs, then pounces with astonishing precision. Its leaps among the highest in the cat family, allowing it to snatch prey from above the grass. The night also belongs to the stealthy predators. Spotted hyenas, often misunderstood, coordinate in loose clans, communicating with eerie whoops and cackles. They track the movements of herds, relying on their acute hearing and powerful jaws to hunt or scavenge under the cover of darkness. Above, the silent flight of the Varro's eagle owl cuts through the air. Its soft feathers muffle sound, allowing it to swoop unseen upon rodents and insects. Its vision, adapted to low light, reveals a world invisible to others. But the night is not only for hunters. Spring hares bound through the shadows, using their powerful hind legs to evade danger. Bush babies leap among the trees, their enormous eyes reflecting moonlight as they search for sweet sap and insects. Interactions pulse through the darkness. Competition, cooperation, and the delicate balance of predator and prey. The scent trails left by aardwolves warn rivals to keep their distance, while the chorus of frogs signals the presence of water and the promise of life. Each nocturnal creature is a master of adaptation. Enhanced hearing, night vision, silent movement, and cryptic coloration are the tools of survival in this hidden realm. Their lives unfold in parallel to the day, shaping the ecosystem in ways unseen by the sunlight. As dawn approaches, these shadowy figures melt back into concealment. The Savannah's secret night world recedes, yet its echoes remain. A vital, intricate web of life that pulses beneath the stars, sustaining the wonder and diversity of this wild land. Beneath the sweeping grass and towering trees, an unseen multitude carries out nature's most intricate work. Insects, nature's architects and alchemists, form the living foundation of every wild realm. Their world is a network of tunnels, trails, and silent exchanges, a realm where each tiny creature plays a part in the grand design of balance. Within the tangled roots, leaf-cutter ants march in endless processions. Each ant, a specialist in its task, cuts and carries fragments of leaves many times its weight. These are not for eating, but for cultivating underground fungus gardens, the true food source for the colony. This delicate farming not only feeds the ants, but also enriches the soil, cycling nutrients and aerating the earth for plants above. Above ground, the dazzling jewel beetle shimmers in the sun. Its iridescent shell is more than mere beauty. It reflects light to ward off predators and regulate body heat. As a larva, it bores into dead wood, hastening its decay and returning vital nutrients to the ecosystem. This transformation of the old into the new is a silent engine of renewal. In the forest canopy, the lanternfly glides from branch to branch, its wings painted with patterns that mimic the eyes of predators. Feeding on tree sap, it excretes droplets of sweet honeydew, attracting armies of ants who, in exchange for a sugary meal, protect the lanternfly from lurking dangers. This alliance weaves a thread of cooperation that binds species together. As night falls, the bush cricket begins its song, a symphony of chirps and trills that fills the darkness. Each note is both a call to mates and a signal to rivals. These nocturnal musicians are vital prey for owls and serval cats, their brief lives fueling the energy of the night's hunters. Beneath the surface, dung beetles perform their ancient task. Guided by the stars, they roll balls of dung across the savannah, burying them for nourishment and to lay their eggs. This simple act recycles waste, fertilizes the soil, and prevents the spread of disease. Without them, the land would suffocate beneath its own debris. Dragonflies patrol the waterways with aerial precision, their four wings beating in perfect harmony. As voracious predators, they keep mosquito populations in check, maintaining a fragile balance in the aquatic web. Their larvae, fierce hunters in their own right, cleanse ponds and streams, ensuring water flows clear and life prospers. From the smallest aphid to the mighty rhinoceros beetle, insects pollinate flowers, decompose the fallen, and form the bedrock of food chains. Their numbers may be humble, but their impact is profound. Each species, a thread in the tapestry of life, weaving stability and resilience into the heart of the wild. In the drama of survival, insects are both stagehands and stars. Their silent labor sustains forests, grasslands, and waterways, allowing the great and the small to flourish. As dawn breaks and the world stirs, their hidden work continues, unseen, unheralded, but utterly essential to the balance of our living planet. Above the forests, deserts, and oceans, a pulse of movement stirs the sky. This is the season of migration, a spectacle of endurance and instinct, as millions of birds embark on journeys that span continents and defy the very limits of nature. From the icy tundras of the north, Arctic terns rise into the pale summer light. Their wings catch the wind, carrying them on a voyage that will cross the globe, over 20,000 miles from pole to pole. Guided by an ancient compass of sun, stars, and the Earth's magnetic field, they fly unerringly toward distant southern seas, tracing invisible highways in the sky. High above the African savanna, vast flocks of swallows ride warm thermals, weaving patterns against the clouds. Each bird is drawn by the promise of abundance, following the rains, the blossoming of insects, and the shifting pulse of seasons. These aerial travelers face storms, predators, and exhaustion, yet their resolve never falters. Over rugged mountain ranges, bar-headed geese ascend to breathtaking heights, their hearts pounding in the thin air. They pass over the towering Himalayas, where icy winds howl and oxygen is scarce. Every wingbeat is a triumph of adaptation, a testament to the resilience that migration demands. On sunlit coasts, knots and sandpipers gather in great numbers, their bodies fueled by feasts of shellfish and worms. Here, resting and refueling are as vital as flight. These brief interludes are sanctuaries where energy is stored for the next relentless push toward distant breeding grounds. Navigating by the shape of coastlines, the scent of the earth, and the subtle cues of polarized light. Birds cross deserts and seas. Many will fall to hunger, fatigue, or waiting talons. Yet for those who endure, the reward is renewal. New generations, safe nesting grounds, and cycles of life that ripple outward across ecosystems. The impact of these migrations is profound. As they travel, birds disperse seeds, fertilize distant lands, and connect habitats separated by vast distances. Their movements synchronize the rhythms of ecosystems, sparking blooms of life in their wake. The arrival of a flock heralds the changing of seasons, the renewal of forests, and the awakening of wetlands. From the smallest warbler to the mighty albatross, each migration is a feat of memory, instinct, and endurance. These journeys are living threads, stitching together the continents and reminding us that the wild is a world in motion, boundless, interconnected, and ever-changing. As dusk deepens and the stars emerge, the sky fills with the calls of travelers on the wing. Their odyssey is timeless, their determination unyielding. The story of migration is the story of life itself, restless, resilient, and forever soaring toward the horizon. Beneath the shimmering surface of Africa's Great Lakes lies a world few eyes ever see, a realm sculpted by water, time, and evolution's endless creativity. Here, in the sunlit shallows and shadowed depths, life flourishes in forms and colors beyond imagination. In Lake Malawi, a living kaleidoscope unfolds. Hundreds of cichlid species, each one more vibrant than the last, patrol rocky outcrops and sandy coves. Electric blues, fiery oranges, and iridescent greens flash as these fish dart between crevices, staking out territories or courting with elaborate dances. Each species has carved out its own niche. Some graze on algae carpets, others sift through sand for tiny crustaceans, while the boldest hunt their kin with lightning speed and cunning camouflage. Aquatic forests sway in the currents, a patchwork of emerald-green Vallisneria and feathery ceratophyllum. These plants anchor the food web, their leaves sheltering swarms of insect larvae and minuscule shrimp. Here, nimble killifish and shy catfish weave between stems, foraging for morsels and evading lurking predators. In the twilight zones where sunlight fades to blue, strange forms drift and hover. The predatory deep-water cichlids prowl, their eyes wide to glean the faintest glimmer of movement. Silvery schools of sardine-like Usipa flash in synchronized waves, their numbers a shield against the jaws of ambush hunters. Beneath the tangled roots of papyrus and reeds along the lakeshore, nurseries teem with life. Tiny fry shelter in tangled shadows, watched over by fiercely protective parents. Here, dragonfly nymphs stalk like miniature monsters, and snails graze on algae, recycling nutrients through the ecosystem. Each life is a thread in a tapestry of abundance and peril. From the plankton that bloom in sunlit waters to the mighty tigerfish, Africa's freshwater predator, energy flows in intricate loops. When the rains come, rivers swell, spilling nutrients into the lakes and triggering explosions of growth. Algal blooms feed clouds of zooplankton, which in turn nourish swarming fish, drawing in larger hunters from the open water. Some creatures are masters of adaptation. The upside-down catfish swims inverted along the water's surface, feasting on insects that fall from above. The armored beachier, an ancient relic, glides slowly along the lake bed, its body more at home among the fossils of prehistory. In these underwater kingdoms, every moment is a delicate balance. Life feeding on life, beauty entwined with danger. The lakes themselves are ever-changing, shaped by shifting currents, volcanic forces, and the relentless pulse of seasons. Yet through it all, the community endures, evolving in spectacular isolation. From the tiniest snail to the most formidable predator, each inhabitant of Africa's Great Lakes is a testament to nature's inventiveness. This is a world of hidden wonders, where the drama of survival plays out in silence and light beneath the waves. Across the wildest corners of our planet, every animal is part of a greater story, one woven together by the invisible threads of symbiosis. Here, survival often depends not only on strength or cunning, but on the intricate relationships formed between wildly different species, each benefiting or sometimes exploiting the other in complex and surprising ways. In the African savanna, the oxpecker bird perches atop colossal herbivores, buffalo, giraffe, and rhinoceros. With a flash of yellow beak, the oxpecker plucks ticks and parasites from thick hides, feasting on a meal while providing much-needed relief to its host. This is mutualism. Both bird and beast thrive together, their lives entwined in a daily exchange of service and sustenance. Beneath the ocean surface, the clownfish darts among the stinging tentacles of a sea anemone. Immune to the venom, the clownfish finds shelter from prowling predators, while its constant movements help aerate the anemone and drive away would-be attackers. Here the partnership is so close that one cannot flourish without the other, a living alliance forged in the currents. But not all relationships are so balanced. In the tangled forests, the remora fish glides alongside mighty sharks, using a suction cup head to hitch a ride. The remora feeds on scraps left by its host, gaining food and transport. The shark, meanwhile, is largely unaffected, an example of commensalism, where one benefits and the other remains unchanged. Elsewhere, the cost of partnership can be steep. In the dense jungles, the cuckoo bird lays its eggs in the nests of other birds, tricking them into raising its young. The unsuspecting foster parents feed their demanding guest, often at the expense of their own chicks. This is parasitism, a one-sided relationship where one thrives and the other pays the price. In the coral reefs, tiny cleaner wrasses set up cleaning stations, where larger fish queue patiently. The wrasser remove parasites and dead skin, their clients leaving refreshed and healthy. Yet every so often, a cleaner wrasser sneaks a bite of healthy flesh, a delicate balance between mutual benefit and subtle betrayal. From the forests to the grasslands, from the depths of lakes to the open sea, symbiosis shapes the rhythms of life. Whether a harmonious partnership, a quiet coexistence, or a covert exploitation, these relationships reveal nature's endless ingenuity and the interconnected fate of all creatures who call the wild home. As the planet tilts and orbits, the world's wild places transform in a perpetual cycle of renewal and challenge. Across continents and oceans, the rhythm of the seasons sets the pulse of survival, urging life to adapt, migrate, or endure. In the savanna, the dry season arrives with relentless heat and parched earth. Rivers shrink to muddy threads, and grasses wither to dust. Herds of antelope and zebra journey vast distances, following the promise of water and fresh grazing. Predators, too, adapt. Lions and hyenas learn to track the movements of their prey, their strategies shifting with every change in the wind. Beyond the grasslands, in the boreal forests, winter's grip brings silence and scarcity. Many animals prepare long before the first snow falls. Squirrels bury caches of nuts while bears fatten up, readying for months of hibernation in hidden dens. The snowshoe hare's coat transforms from brown to white, a living camouflage against the frozen landscape. In the wetlands, the arrival of spring is announced by a chorus of frogs and the return of migratory birds. Floodwaters spread, awakening dormant seeds and stirring insects to life. Fish lay their eggs in the rising shallows, ensuring the next generation will thrive in the abundance of the season. Farther north, the Arctic fox prowls the tundra, its thick fur and keen senses honed for both bitter cold and brief, frantic summers. When the sun barely sets, reindeer graze endlessly, nourishing themselves for the long winter ahead. Even in the ocean, the seasons drive great spectacles. As icy currents shift, plankton blooms ignite, drawing whales, seals, and seabirds from thousands of miles away. Coral reefs pulse with new life as fish spawn in synchrony with the lunar calendar, timing their survival to the ebb and flow of the tides. Some creatures adapt in place, changing their behavior or appearance. Others embark on epic migrations, crossing continents or oceans in search of safety and sustenance. For all, adaptation is the key to survival, a delicate balance between risk and reward, scarcity and plenty. Each changing season brings new trials and fresh opportunities. In this endless dance, life finds ways to endure, evolve, and flourish, painting the world with stories of resilience and the power of nature's timeless cycles. Beneath the sweeping grasslands and tangled forests of Africa lies a world seldom seen, a realm ruled by scales, slick skins, and silent movements. Here, reptiles and amphibians carve out lives of astonishing complexity, their stories woven into the fabric of every ecosystem. As dawn's first light warms the earth, a Nile monitor slides from its burrow, tongue flickering to taste the morning air. This ancient hunter glides through riverbanks and woodlands, its armor of scales both shield and camouflage. With patience honed by millennia, it stalks frogs and fish, eggs and insects, each meal a testament to its adaptability. Hidden in the leaf litter, the African bullfrog lies motionless, its emerald skin blending seamlessly with the shadows. When the rains arrive, this giant awakens, emerging to claim temporary pools. Males inflate their vocal sacs, filling the air with thunderous calls that summon mates from afar. After spawning, the bullfrog fiercely guards its tadpoles, defending them from predators until the waters recede. In the arid savannah, the flap-necked chameleon clings to acacia branches, its swiveling eyes searching for prey. With a slow, deliberate crawl, it approaches an unsuspecting insect. In a flash, its tongue darts out, lightning fast, impossibly long, snaring the meal with sticky precision. The chameleon's skin shifts in hue, a living palette signaling mood, territory, and intent. Beneath muddy waters, the African helmeted turtle glides through submerged forests. Its domed shell, pitted and worn, tells a story of decades spent evading crocodiles and fish eagles. When drought threatens, the turtle burrows deep into the mud, entering a state of suspended animation until the rains return. In the tangled roots of riverbanks, reed frogs cling to slender stems, their translucent skin almost glowing in the fading light. As dusk falls, their chorus rises, a symphony of clicks and trills echoing across the wetlands. Each note marks a territory, a plea for companionship, a warning to rivals. Beyond their solitary struggles, these reptiles and amphibians are architects of balance. Frogs and toads feast on swarms of insects, holding pests in check. Snakes, from the stealthy boomslang to the formidable python, keep rodent populations in balance, their predatory prowess essential to the food web. Even the smallest gecko clinging to a cave wall plays a part, devouring mosquitoes and pollinating flowers in the moonlit hours. Their lives are shaped by cycles of feast and famine, drought and deluge. Eggs are laid in secret, tucked beneath rocks or hidden in ephemeral pools. Young hatch with instincts sharp, ready to evade predators from their very first breath. Some metamorphose in days, others linger as larvae, waiting for the perfect moment to emerge. In this hidden world, survival depends on stealth, patience, and the mastery of ancient tactics. Each scale and skin tells a story of adaptation, each call and crawl a note in the grand symphony of life. Though often overlooked, reptiles and amphibians are the silent sentinels of Africa's wild places, guardians of balance, keepers of secrets, and living proof of nature's boundless ingenuity. Across the vast tapestry of Africa, a network of shimmering wetlands breathes life into the heart of the continent. These watery sanctuaries, sprawling marshes, dense papyrus swamps, and ephemeral floodplains are the lungs of the land, nurturing a web of existence as intricate as it is fragile. Here, water lilies unfurl their petals at dawn, painting the surface with bursts of colour. Beneath, shoals of cichlid fish dart between tangled roots, their scales flashing in the dappled light. Each species, from the rainbow-hued jewel cichlids to the armoured catfish, has carved out a unique niche, evolving in splendid isolation within these aquatic havens. Above the water, the African jacana steps delicately across floating vegetation, its impossibly long toes distributing its weight like a dancer on a stage. In the reeds, the secretive Sitatunga antelope swims with ease, its hooves splayed wide for wading through the flooded grasses. Dragonflies, their wings shimmering like stained glass, patrol the air, hunting midges and mosquitoes in a ballet of aerial agility. Yet the magic of wetlands extends beyond their visible inhabitants. These landscapes filter water, trapping sediments and purifying streams, while soaking up the pulse of seasonal floods. Their spongy soils cradle eggs of amphibians and the burrows of crabs, providing nurseries for untold generations. Each rainy season, the chorus of reed frogs swells, their calls echoing through the mists, signalling the renewal of life. In hidden pockets, the shoebill stalks its prey, moving with ghostly patience through the papyrus. Its massive beak snaps shut with startling force, claiming lungfish and unsuspecting amphibians. Along the muddy banks, the African pygmy goose glides serenely, its plumage a splash of emerald and chestnut against the green. Wetlands are the crossroads of migration, too. As seasons shift, flocks of sandpipers and storks descend, pausing to rest and refuel. Here, their journeys intersect with resident herons, kingfishers, and the elusive painted snipe, each species dependent on the bounty and shelter these waters provide. Yet the balance is delicate. When drought lingers or waters recede, the wetlands shrink, their lifelines stretched thin. Fish retreat to shrinking pools, amphibians burrow deep, and the sounds of life grow faint. In these moments, the resilience of each inhabitant is tested, and the interconnected threads of the ecosystem are revealed in their true fragility. Africa's wetlands are not just places of refuge. They are engines of biodiversity, guardians of water, and architects of abundance. In their embrace, the rare and the remarkable find sanctuary. Each ripple, each croak, and each fluttering wing is a testament to the enduring power and vulnerability of these wondrous realms. In the wild heart of Africa, balance is not a static state, but a living, breathing dance, choreographed by its most formidable inhabitants, the apex predators, lions, leopards, crocodiles, and wild dogs. Each reigns at the pinnacle of the food web, shaping the world beneath them in ways both visible and unseen. With eyes that pierce the dusk, lions patrol the golden savannah. Their coordinated hunts a masterclass in teamwork and precision. Stalking in silence, they edge closer to herds of zebra and wildebeest, testing the strength and vigilance of their quarry. A sudden burst, a chase, the pride's power unleashed in perfect unison. Through such hunts the lions cull the weak, the sick, and the old, ensuring only the fittest survive to breed. In their wake the grasslands flourish, spared from overgrazing, and new life is given space to grow. Leopards, solitary and elusive, move like shadows through the undergrowth. Their strategy is patience, waiting, watching, then striking with swift, silent ferocity. By preying on a wide variety of animals, from antelope to monkeys, leopards prevent any one species from overwhelming the ecosystem. Their kills, hoisted into the branches, feed not just themselves, but a host of scavengers, hyenas, jackals, and vultures, who benefit from what is left behind. In the waterways, crocodiles lurk beneath the surface, motionless but ever watchful. With explosive power, they seize unsuspecting prey that comes to drink, their presence a constant reminder of the risks that every creature must weigh. By thinning the ranks of the unwary, crocodiles help maintain the health and diversity of riverbank communities. Wild dogs, with their relentless stamina and intricate social bonds, chase down antelope in coordinated packs. Their hunts are swift and efficient, their success rate among the highest of any predator. By targeting different individuals each time, they keep prey populations in check, preventing disease and starvation from taking hold. The influence of apex predators ripples outward. Where they roam, prey animals remain alert, constantly on the move. This vigilance prevents overgrazing and allows vegetation to recover, creating shelter for insects, birds, and small mammals. The carcasses left behind become feasts for scavengers, recycling nutrients back into the soil, feeding grasses, and fueling the next cycle of life. Without these top hunters, the delicate balance unravels. Prey populations swell, the land is stripped bare, and disease spreads unchecked. Apex predators are not just hunters. They are guardians of abundance, architects of diversity, and keepers of the wild's vital equilibrium. In every paw print and ripple, in every silent pursuit and thunderous chase, the apex predators of Africa remind us the health of an ecosystem depends on the strength of its wildest hearts. Amidst the endless tapestry of green, a hidden army toils in silence, tiny, tireless, and vital. These are the pollinators, butterflies, bees, beetles, moths, and birds, nature's unsung gardeners. Each day they embark on a journey that shapes the very foundation of life, weaving unseen connections between blossom and bloom. A butterfly glides on painted wings, drawn by the subtle perfume of a wild hibiscus. Its delicate feet brush the flower's center, dusting them with golden pollen. With each visit, the butterfly unwittingly plays matchmaker, carrying life from one plant to another, ensuring seeds will form and the next generation will flourish. Bees, clad in velvet stripes, hum from flower to flower in a tireless ballet. Their bodies, perfectly adapted for the task, collect pollen in tiny baskets on their legs. As they burrow deep into petals, searching for sweet nectar, they cross-pollinate hundreds of blossoms, fueling the cycle of renewal in forests, savannas, and meadows. Not all pollinators arrive by day. As dusk falls, moths emerge, fluttering softly through the twilight. Guided by moonlight and the pale glow of night-blooming flowers, they sip nectar and gather pollen on their fuzzy bodies, carrying the promise of new life across the night air. In the dense thickets, beetles with iridescent shells crawl over ancient cycads and fragrant lilies. Their clumsy movements stir clouds of pollen, a process as old as the forests themselves. Each beetle, though small and unassuming, plays a role in sustaining the plants that anchor entire ecosystems. High above, sunbirds and honeycreepers dart among the branches, their slender beaks probing deep into tubular blooms. As they feed, pollen clings to their faces and feathers, hitching a ride to distant flowers and forging connections across the canopy. Without these pollinators, the world would be silent and still. Flowers would wither, fruits and seeds would fail to form, and the plants that shelter and feed countless animals would vanish. The pollinator's quiet labor sustains the wild's abundance, nurturing the roots of every food chain. Through every flutter, buzz, and brush of wings, pollinators carry out an ancient pact, a promise written in petals and pollen. In their secret journeys, they breathe life into the land, ensuring that the wild remains vibrant, blooming, and ever renewed.